sometimes when you're in personal development and spirituality, like you can just have these great times in your life where you're going for a walk and you are just getting download after download. You're getting chills. You're on one. You're just like in a great place in your life. And during this time, it's like the reason I haven't been like meditating or journaling is because it's like I go to those practices and I'm like, I got nothing. That's where it's hard to keep going back to those things.
Maybe there's not space right now. Maybe you're not leaving space for God to come in.
It's all good reminders. Yep.
When your schedule's packed full and you're consuming and reading and personal growth podcast and spiritual book, if you're like suffocating everything, where's the room? So give yourself that space.
Hannah, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
And you have your own podcast now, which is so exciting. So now you're just on the other side, which is now I get to interview you, which is so fun. So I want to start there because you just started a podcast called How Good. And I want to know, first of all, where the name came from. But did you always want a podcast, or where did that come from?
I actually got on YouTube when I was 12. So
doing what?
Makeup tutorials.
Oh my God.
And there's actually a video I was showing someone this morning. When I was 14, I was talking all about positivity and experiencing life through that lens and the importance of a positive outlook. So I've always loved speaking, and makeup was just, I think, something I was passionate about at the time. And this was very much in the like beauty tutorials era.
Okay.
So yes, I've always loved communicating with people. I've always loved the digital space. I've wanted to start a podcast for a really long time. I started one, I think 5-ish years ago, and I put out a couple of episodes, but the agency really consumed my life, my marketing agency. So I didn't have the bandwidth to give it the attention that it deserved. But I've been involved with the marketing agency with a lot of podcasters. So I feel like I've been in like This Getting Confidential and others. So I feel like I've been in the podcast space, but behind the camera. But as it pertains to what I'm speaking about now, manifestation and just, different chapters of life, I've wanted to do that for a number of years. So I'm so excited that I've finally created the space to be able to prioritize that. Mm-hmm. The name How Good is a shortened version of the phrase, show me how good it can be. Mm-hmm. Basically, I was sitting actually in synagogue this past summer. And after a really challenging period of my life and a really challenging breakup, my life was really starting to just like turn around, and everything was starting to fall into place. I felt like myself again. This new really beautiful relationship was coming together. And this phrase came to me, and I realized that I was trying so much to live in the present, which was the right thing to do, but I wasn't even letting myself entertain the best case scenario. Mm-hmm. Normally I catastrophize. I have anxiety about like everyone dying and everything falling to shit. And I think that's just like that. Can I swear on the podcast?
Yes.
Okay, great. I think that's just like a product of, I grew up with a lot of death and grief, and there's just been like a lot of loss. So that abandonment wound manifests as fear of loss of everything. And I'm like, wow, I realized that I hadn't even let myself go there, because I thought if I experienced even the slightest bit of like pleasure from imagining it, then it not actually like working out like that would be such a painful reality. But then I told myself, I'm like, no, like show me how good it can be. And when I was sitting there, the phrase that actually initially came to me was show me how good it can get. And I like needed to get this out of me. So I'm like running around looking for pen and paper. My phone was dead. So I wanted to write it down, and I started writing, show me how good it can get, show me how good it can get. And then something told me to change the phrase to be show me how good it can be. So I'm like, why did that change? And I psychoanalyze everything. So I'm like, what does that mean? And then I realized that to get something, the opposite of getting something is losing it. And to get something, it's a very like final destination. It's like, I don't have it, and then I'm going to get it. Be is, it becomes part of your identity, and it's a word that's like completely eternal. So show me how good it can be. It means that no matter what happens, you can never lose it. Like no matter what falls away or where life takes you, to me, it meant that not only can it just be that good forever and it never has to be as dark as it once was, no matter how challenging life becomes, but that the version of you that you get in process, in pursuit, that's what you take with you forever, and no one and nothing can ever strip you of that. So that's where that came from. And then I shared that at a dinner I had at my house for close friends, and that phrase just stuck with me. So then when I decided to do the podcast, that name kind of came about, and then I shortened it to How Good. And now here we are.
I love that. I was telling you before we started recording, I had a friend years ago that we'd always start a mastermind with, how good can you take it? And that resonated so much. Like, that's why I'm so obsessed with your topic and your podcast name, because I think that we resist it so much for exactly what you said. I know in my life, I feel like I have pushed away so much of like the joy that has been present, because it's like, if I enjoy it too much, I'm going to get used to this, and this is fleeting, and this might not be real. And this is like, there's so many parts of my life that I've just spent striving, making sure that I maintain it, or like being afraid of it, like actually being afraid of success or good things happening. But also, through the years, I've had like massive fears of losing people.
Yeah.
And losing relationships. And I think now at this point in my life, we lost someone really close to us. And I think it actually became such a lesson of like, sometimes your worst case scenario and your worst fears happening, you actually get a lot of like lessons and beauty on the other side. But sometimes you have to go through those things to understand that. So did something for you happen that kind of flipped that for you to be able to be present and start letting it in? Like, what were some of the moments for you that you're like, oh, I need to start letting it in? And how did you start doing that?
It's a really great question. You know, when you initially shared that with me, the how good can you take it, what came to mind, it's like, I have chills. Like, it can be as good as you'll allow it to. Mm-hmm. And I love that. How good can you take it? Because it means to me, like, how good can you allow it to be without self-destructing, without like, how good can you take
full
it?
sabotage.
You know? Yeah, like how much can you handle? Because there's an endless amount of love, money, abundance, community, friendships, beauty, like whatever you want, passion, spirituality. Like, and I think people just focus on chasing all of those things. It's like, I was just typing this because I led a workshop and I have this WhatsApp, and I was typing to the community this morning. I'm like, it's like you're standing in front of a faucet, an endless faucet, saying you want more water. Like if you're it's like if you're a 12-ounce glass and you want 1,000 ounces of water, the water isn't the problem. Like focus on yourself, expand yourself, focus on what you can carry. You don't need to chase any more water. Like, it will flow endlessly. And that really came to mind when you told me that phrase. So to answer your question, I think I've been searching or desiring a relationship, and paired with that a sense of family, probably for the majority of my life, like since I was a small child. And I think a lot of us as women, we fantasize what marriage and children will look like. And I think probably in a way that men can't really understand,
for sure.
And especially
we're like programmed since we're like 3 years old.
Right. You see like a little girl with her baby doll, like from such a young age, we desire that. And I felt that I thought that I was with the person that I was going to marry and have children with. And I was very much a part of his family. So it was so much bigger than just the relationship. It was the experience of a family that I never really had. And the whole thing fell away. And I realized a lot of things. I realized, first of all, that nothing is a given. Like nothing is promised. No one, no relationship, not tomorrow. And I think that sometimes we think that we're in relationships that will 100% last forever. Like, I thought that the only reason that we wouldn't have children is if one of us like died. I thought there was nothing like in this physical world that would interfere with that. And then there was nothing in this physical world that I could do to keep it. So I realized that, number one, most of the things we worry about never actually come to be. And then most of the things that actually we do have to worry about, we never thought about once. They're things that we didn't even really consider. Yes, sometimes, like you mentioned, our worst fears come to be, and then we have to face that. But the way that I was living just wasn't working. Specifically in the situation that I was describing when my now boyfriend and I were coming together, I knew intuitively that the only thing that would work was taking it day by day and truly living in the present moment, making the most of every single day that I was given and focusing on becoming the best version of myself. So that's what I did.
So how do you deal with when those thoughts come in though, like in the intrusive thoughts? And like, as you go deeper, maybe because it sounds like relationships are like one of the main things that you've dealt with in your experience. Like a lot of people, it's either some people have it very career. It's like career and money. Maybe that's always been a problem, or relationships have always been a struggle. So for you with relationships, is that the main one you would say?
Yeah. Money and careers usually come pretty easily to me. I made, I think, $1 million for the first time when I was 22 or 23.
I would say that comes easy.
Yeah.
I would say yes. That's easy.
I've been entrepreneurial since I was little. It's relationships 100% first and foremost. And then the whole concept of food, my body, and eating would be the second thing.
Okay.
But those are the two. But if I had to pick one, for sure, relationships, heartbreak.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how have you been able to, the deeper that you go into a relationship and the more that you're like, whoa, this is better than I could have even possibly imagined. Are there moments where you're like, oh, this is where it all falls apart. Oh, this is where the shoe drops. Like, how do you flip back? How do you get through that? And how do you deal with the thought of worst case scenario? Because there are no guarantees in anything. Like even my marriage, I've been married 20 years and I still have to face the fact that this still may not work.
Right.
You know, people are like, you made it to the 20-year mark. I'm like, yeah, but it's a work and every day is still like a choice that you're together. So that scares the shit out of me as well. But how do you continue to choose to go back into being good?
The phrase is really helpful because it reminds me, it grounds me, it anchors me in not needing to worry that the other shoe is going to drop, because that is usually the thing that manifests it dropping, you know? But I constantly tell myself, it doesn't need to be him. It doesn't need to be him. And I think that's important for even people in 20-year marriages to say, it doesn't need to be him. It's him right now. And then someone might say, well, will that, manifest an ending? Like, no, the opposite. Like when you grasp something with a tight fist, it literally slips through your fingers. Like when you hold something delicately, that's what makes it last. I think, living in the present and making decisions intentionally with like complete care for him and what we're creating together is really important, but not putting pressure on needing this to work for so many factors. Like number one, we're living way longer than generations prior. So in our lifetimes, we're experiencing so much more change and evolution than anyone prior. And we're just living in this age where we're talking about personal growth, which is creating it's a different thing. Marriage and relationships are a different thing than they used to be. So that's the first thing. But I think whenever you put pressure on anything, you inherently bring needy energy, which is just so repellent. Like if someone needs it to be you and needs you to promise that you're never going to leave no matter what, like I don't think that's unconditional love. I think you can love someone unconditionally, but have conditions for yourself to remain in a partnership with someone.
Yeah.
Oh my
gosh, yeah.
That's what comes to me. And then also making sure, okay, am I continuing to to invest in my own growth, in my friendships, in my business, and not completely getting absorbed into someone's life, even though we're building a life together. That's enough. And I've made that mistake in past relationships. So that's really important. But I think in general, if you're in a healthy relationship with a healthy partner, the more you invest in yourself, the more obsessed you are with yourself, the more your healthy partner will be obsessed with you.
I totally agree. My husband my husband and I have this thing that we say where it's like, probably sounds crazy to some people, but it works. So it's like the truth of what has worked through 20 years where exactly like you're saying, like we've been 5 or 6, maybe more different people in those in this relationship, and we don't have kids. So that's another thing of like, continue there. It's not kids like keeping you together, because a lot of couples you'll see start to get divorced in their 40s or 50s because the kids kept them together, and they're like, who the hell are you? Like, we were both changing and becoming these different people, and then woke up one day and it's like, what are we even in anymore? You know, we were together because we were taking care of these kids. But Chris and I have this thing where it's like, we literally want to continue to be the person that the other person wants to choose, but that we want to be, like, that we want to choose. And so every single like thing that him and I have wanted to do, because you're going to want to do a million things in your life. You know, there's a million different paths you're going to want to go down. And we always just ask the other person, like, could you like try this on for size? Like, could you at least try it? Like, this is a career path I want to take, or this is a religion I want to check out. Like, could you at least just try it on? If it's not your thing, cool. Like, we'll try to continue and see how everything goes. But if you at all are curious or interested, or at minimum support, like, what does this look like? So that's been one of the most powerful things that we've done, because it started like way back in the day when I got into personal development first. Oh. And I don't know, like, if your girlfriends have this conversation, but like a lot of guys can take a little time to like jump on that train. I know your relationship is a little different. It's also, you guys are both like, no, let's go.
Yeah, he was probably ahead of me in ways. Yeah.
But like, I don't know if this is a conversation with your girlfriends that like they can take a hot second of like, what are you doing? Why do we always have to analyze everything? Like, why does everything have to mean something deeper? And so I think for both men and women, like, allowing that time to like catch up as well in relationships. So tell me about kind of like the climate with your girlfriends right now in dating. Like, I also know you're in LA, so that's a little bit of a different conversation too, but what does that look like?
You know, I think it completely depends on the attitude and the perspective of the individual girl. Mm-hmm. I think if you're sitting there telling yourself that all men are narcissistic assholes and cheat, that you will find exactly that. Mm-hmm. And if you tell yourself that the clock is running out, and, you know, like, whatever you tell yourself is what you will see. Mm-hmm. If you tell yourself that men are beautiful and generous and masculine and all that's what you find. I tend to see there are certain women, and it doesn't mean that they're more beautiful than anyone else. They get all the guys. They walk into a bar and they get hit on by everyone. And there are certain girls who feel invisible. And I think to an extent it kind of then becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, mm-hmm. because that's the attitude that they carry themselves with. But I think it's a testament to what you tell yourself. Mm. It's not magic. Like, it's neuroscience. That's how you create the filters and the lens through which you view the world. Like, that's mm-hmm. literally how you let your brain, your reticular activating system, work in your favor. So tell yourself all day that men are how you want men to be, and you will just see men that way. You will mm-hmm. find those men, and the other ones will literally be invisible to you. And then that also affects the way that you show up, that you carry yourself, your energy. At the end of the day, everyone, beyond just guys, people want to be around happy, confident, positive people. No mm-hmm. one wants to be around someone who's miserable. It's just, and there's seasons for that. But mm-hmm. then, like, you know, pick yourself up. So that's why I'm hesitant to even like make a blanket statement about the dating climate, because it just takes one.
Yeah,
like I was dating, I was single. Like, you're not supposed to like every single guy. Yeah. Like, you only really need to like one. You know what I mean? And I think it's easier for men to like enjoy the experience of being with more women. Mm-hmm. You know, because mm-hmm. they're just like they can appreciate beauty without needing to have like a deep emotional connection, right, for the most part. Mm-hmm. Like, for women, you kind of need the whole thing. You know what I mean? Yes. Like, you can't just like see a guy and be like, oh my God, you're hot, let's go. I mean, I don't operate that way, right? Like, I need to be intellectually stimulated mm-hmm. and feel like we have an emotional connection. So if someone's feeling discouraged, like, because the dating climate or dating in LA sucks, like, you just need one.
Mm-hmm. No, I love that, because that, you know, different things in life, you can kind of take the like the outline of it and place it on another. Like, you could, in business, I imagine that you had a great perspective on like, oh, well, this is happening for me. This money is available. There's clients everywhere, mm-hmm. where someone could go, there's no clients, nobody's spending money right now. It's rough out there. Like, the world is changing. And so that's the lens they're going to get. They're not going to get the clients. Their business is not going to grow. They're not going to see the people, because they're going to walk into that and people won't be attracted to that. So It's funny how like you can literally take that and overlay it on relationships, and it's the same thing. We just sometimes have trouble with like it, like making it transfer into all these other departments of life. But I borrow that a lot where I'm like, where was I successful?
Yes.
Why was it easy? I'm like, why was that easy for me? And then I'm like, how do I reverse engineer that to this thing that's hard? And I was actually watching one of your reels earlier, and you were talking about something that I absolutely love. You were saying you would never have anxiety if you knew everything was happening for you. And I was like, absolutely, because everything that's even been bad that has happened to me, even very traumatic things, has given me like a life's purpose or something to talk on or a platform, or completely changed me and given me such massive perspective. It's made me have this podcast. It's like made me meet incredible people. So tell me a little bit about that theory and how that's applied in your life.
I think in the moment when things are really painful, it's easy to forget that there's a bigger picture.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a spiritual practice or faith, then like just the whole thing's fucked.
You're going to go down the vortex and you're just going to stay there.
That's like the fastest way to get completely existential, you know? Then you start to question everything. You get mad at yourself, or you victimize, you blame others. You think that you're like living the wrong reality. That's where like depression and anxiety come from. You think that you're either living the wrong reality now, or you might live the wrong reality in the future. You think you could make a wrong decision. Like there's no wrong decision. That's the point, right? So conceptually, if you can get to the place where you deeply know that every single thing that has happened, like every singular thing that happened up until this moment had to happen, there was literally no other way, then you can start to forgive others, you can start to forgive yourself, and you can move forward. And I think a lot of us walk around with feelings that someone should have done something differently. They should have been more fair. They should have been kinder. We should have done something differently. However egregious it is, whether you cheated or lied or stole or were manipulative, like I believe that all of our souls have a specific curriculum, that we're all living this exact custom plan to help shape us into who we're meant to be. And then from this moment forward, then we have complete free will, right? Because that's what free will is. So that's where all of those negative emotions can just completely evaporate into. Like to your point, you can only connect the dots looking backwards. Then you can say, thank God for this, thank God for that, because even though it was so painful, like I can look at my greatest heartbreak. Thank God I experienced it, or I wouldn't have been living the life, I wouldn't be living the life I'm living now, which is so much more aligned. It's so much more beautiful. And there's challenges I've gone through. I'm sure you can relate to this. Like I'm grateful because I think that I can share the lessons with other people, especially women, and spare them from needing to go through that level of pain and suffering.
Yeah, like how boring, honestly, would you be if everything was perfect?
Right.
We would have nothing to talk about.
Those people, honestly, like it's easy to be like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. Your life's so fucking easy. It's kind of like, I don't want to say ignoring. It's kind of like the universe isn't giving that person extra attention. Like those easy lives, you kind of leave the earth relatively similar to how you came. Like that's not what I want. If you want the big life, if you want the big transformation, it's like when God decided to make David, a king, he gave him Goliath. He didn't give him a crown. Like you want a big dream, you want a big life, like, okay, you asked for it. Now you're going to get a big challenge.
Okay, let's dig into that because I feel like that's the how good can it get theory? How good can it be? How good can you take it?
Then buckle up, bitch.
Then buckle up because I had this like little like story that I played out in my head to understand it. And it was like, okay, it's fine. I feel like we think so much alike. Mine was like this glass. It was a glass maker, like picture like a glass blower, like a man who like he has his like shop all set up. And there's this little water pitcher on the shelf and he's surrounded by these big water pitchers that can hold a ton of water. And he's like, why don't I get to hold all the water? Like I want to hold so much more. And the glass blower says to him, oh, you can. I didn't know if you wanted to be put back in the fire.
Oh.
And so don't ask me why I make up little weird
Chills.
tales, but it's like, I was like, oh God. So this helped me so much with my life of like, oh, you want more? well, are you ready to go back in the fire? And like, I am so in it right now, like beyond anything I've ever been in my entire life. And I'm just like, oh God, like this, it's so easy to forget. And you're reminding me like, oh, your practices can go out the window. And it's like, I am completely a person who's very much like a reader, a walker, was a meditator, like still kind of doing those, but they just have fallen by the wayside because of stress. And it's like, you must ground into those or you can just forget. And I'm even surrounded by, I do this podcast, like surrounded by incredible people. But that when you're in that fire, it is all encompassing. It's so easy. It is so easy to forget. What are some things that you recommend to someone who's literally like, even if you're surrounded by incredible people and you are in it, it's like, how do you get out of that? There are so many challenges to business that I don't want starting to be one of them for you. And when you want more, when you're starting a business, you need Northwest Registered Agent because you get access to thousands of free guides, tools, and legal forms to help you launch and protect your business. And it's all in one place. You can build your complete business identity with Northwest today. Northwest Registered Agent has been helping small business owners and entrepreneurs launch and grow business for nearly 30 years. They're the largest registered agent and LLC service in the US with over 1,500 corporate guides, real people who know your local laws and can help you and your business every step of the way. You can sign up for free account to begin managing your business hub with lawyer drafted operating agreements, bylaws, resolutions, membership certificates, bills of sale, and more at no cost. Northwest makes life easy for business owners. They don't just help you form your business. They give you the free tools you need after you form it, like operating agreements, meeting minutes, and thousands of how-to guides that explain the complicated ins and outs of running a business. And let me tell you, this is life-changing because I had no idea how much went into this. So don't wait, protect your privacy, build your brand, and get your complete business identity in just 10 clicks and 10 minutes. Visit www.northwestregisteredagent.com/earn free and start building something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at www.northwestregisteredagent.com/earn free. 2026 is the year that you launch your business. It's the year that you've become the boss, you become the leader. That idea that you have that has been eating at you forever, that just will not leave you alone, is going to come to life. Maybe it's something that someone tells you should always sell, or a store you've already designed in your head. And with Shopify, 2026 is when you finally make it happen. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs have already made this leap from household name to first-time business owners just getting started. You guys, I use Shopify for Glossy. And I remember when they sent me my little shopping bag celebrating my 10,000 sales, and I literally cried because I was so scared to take the leap, and I'm so glad that I did and that I use Shopify. It gives you all the tools to easily build your dream store. You can choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. Setup is fast with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines and help you edit photos. So marketing is built in too. You can create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. So as you grow, Shopify grows with you. You can handle more orders, expand to new markets, and do it all from the same dashboard. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/happy. Go to shopify.com/happy. That's shopify.com/happy. Hear your first cha-ching this new year with Shopify by your side. You know how much sleep affects everything from your mood, your energy, and you hear me talk about this with skin all the time. But let's be really honest, unwinding at night for entrepreneurs and anyone who's listening to this podcast is probably pretty challenging because we love to replay the day and think of our big goals and all of the things that we want and need to be doing the next day. That's why my nighttime routine has become a non-negotiable. It's become super sacred to me. And I've been using Osea products, and their Dream Collection has completely up-leveled how I wind down at night. Their Dream Night Serum and their Dream Night Cream are clinically clinically tested formulas powered by bioretinol, and they're designed to reduce the visible effects of stress on your skin while you sleep, which I really need right now. I wake up feeling like my skin actually got to rest. It feels softer, it feels smoother, and it feels really nourished. And as someone who struggles with really dry skin, I love how rich and creamy these feel without being heavy. So my nightly wind down ritual isn't just about skincare. It's about creating a sense of serenity at the end of the day. So it's choosing products that work while you sleep. And this helps me slow down, settle in, and take care of myself, because skincare really is self-care. And I am also obsessed with the scent of these. And I'm excited to share that Osea just launched their newest product in the Dream collection, the Dream Bioretinol Body Serum, which is a full body overnight treatment that visibly de-stresses the skin with a blend of bioretinol, red seaweed, magnesium, and lavender, which is why I love the smell. It helps reduce visible dryness and dullness, improves elasticity, and leaves your skin feeling softer and smoother by the morning. This is absolutely becoming a core part of my body care routine in 2026. So give your skin a rest with clean, clinically tested skincare from Osea. And right now we have a special discount just for our listeners. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code EARN at OseaMalibu.com. That's OSEAMALIBU.com. Are you ready to take your business marketing to the next level? Meet Brevo, the all-in-one marketing and CRM platform built to help you connect with customers, boost engagement, and grow your business smarter. With Brevo, you can manage all your customer interactions in one place, nurture leads with their built-in CRM, reach your audience through email and SMS, and keep them coming back with powerful automations. But here's where it gets really exciting. Meet Aura, Brevo's AI assistant. Aura helps you craft smarter campaigns by suggesting personalized content, optimizing send times, and even analyzing performance data to help you improve your strategy in real time. It's like having a marketing expert on your team 24/7. And of course, Brevo offers advanced analytics, seamless integrations, and AI-driven personalization, everything you need to create multi-channel campaigns that hit the mark every time. Get started for free today or use code HAPPY50 to save 50% on starter and standard plans for the first 3 months for an annual subscription. Just head to www.brevo.com/happy and take your marketing further with Brevo and Aura.
I remember sitting across from my therapist during a very hard time, and I was kind of lapsing with old like eating disordered behavior. And she told me, she's like, every single unhealthy coping mechanism you've ever used, everything you've ever sought comfort in is going to come back up right now. And I can actually look back on that and view it with tremendous compassion. Like you're trying to find the thing that's going to give relief. So if that's happening, if you're feeling, because there's two different things. There's like lack of adhering to positive skills, and then there's returning or adhering to negative skills. So if you're feeling those urges, I would have compassion for yourself. If someone's listening and you're feeling pulled to whatever it is, anything, spending, drugs, alcohol, binge eating, like unhealthy relationships, like have compassion.
I have a couple carts that are full. I have a couple.
Yeah. Okay, but you know what? Yeah, exactly. A full cart? You haven't checked out. You haven't checked out. It's true. You haven't checked out.
Yeah, some of them I have though. It's all good.
It's all good. Yeah. There's worse things. Right? There's levels. Yeah. There's levels. So have compassion for that. Where your practice is really strengthened is when you deviate or when you kind of leave for a little bit and you return to come back.
Yeah.
Like each time that you come back, that's where it gets strengthened. If it was just easy for you to sustain for your whole life, that doesn't really mean you have a strong practice. Like same with a relationship. Every time that you have a challenge and every time there's a rupture and then you repair, you're now stronger. So no matter, how many days or weeks or months or years have gone by where there's been a lapse in coming back to the things that make you feel like your best self, your most grounded self, have compassion and see this as an opportunity to strengthen your practice. If you can come back, now it's actually even stronger than it was before. There's so many different like spiritual concepts about this, but if you fall and you get back up, you are like stronger, better, like farther along in your spiritual personal development journey than had you not like faltered or fallen in the first place. So I would get excited that this is an opportunity for you to rise, to strengthen, and to grow, to evolve, to elevate all of the things, all of the words. I would really bring it down. I'd boil it down. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, talks about this all the time. Like, what is the 2-minute version of that practice? Like, and this isn't a time to be an overachiever. Like, truly, what is it? If it's meditating for 2 minutes. If it's reading for 2 minutes. If it's working out, it's literally putting your shoes on, rolling out the yoga mat. I would pick—
Our 20-minute workouts are great right now.
Yeah,
truly.
right.
I'm like, this is all I can do.
Honestly. So I would like make it simple, bring it down. And everyone has a different recipe. Like for me, my 3 habits that if I do them, I feel better the entire day. It's reading 5 pages, meditating for 5 minutes, and journaling half a page. So you could even bring those down to the 2-minute versions. I would just find those 3 things and just do them every day for a week. So that can be like a 6-minute routine every day, each for 2 minutes. 3 things, each for 2 minutes. Just do that for a week and start there. And practice a lot of compassion and a lot of, even if you can cultivate it, excitement for this opportunity to return to your practice and then be better off for it than you were in the beginning.
It's so good to remember that. I have a few that are, I mean, I have some that like they just never leave, like moving my body, working out. Reading is down to 5 to 10 pages. But what you're reminding me of is like, I also need the practice where I'm listening. You know, it's like I'm doing the activities of like working out and reading. That feels a little like consumptive, you know, which is important. I need those things, meaning like I need to like tune in. I'm not taking any time to listen to me or like be a channel for it. So I think the challenge for a lot of people and myself, so everybody listening, I want to also get your input on this, Hannah. Like sometimes when you're in personal development and spirituality, like you can just have these great times in your life where you're going for a walk and you are just getting download after download. You're getting chills. You're on one. You're just like in a great place in your life. And during this time, it's like the reason I haven't been like meditating or journaling is because it's like I go to those practices and I'm like, I got nothing.
Nothing.
Where are you? Like, I know you're here and I know you're making me like, this is where faith actually begins. But I'm like, I would love just like a sparkle, like something, you know? And I think that's where it's hard to keep going back to those things.
When's the last time that you felt it?
Like a sparkle? That's a tough one. I mean, like I get little ones here and there.
Like
but
what, when?
I
Like when
feel
you're
like I
doing
used
what?
to get like walks typically, like, but not listening to a podcast, like maybe just like out walking listening to ideas and stuff like that.
I think it's important to know that everyone gets those feelings, those downloads in different ways.
Yeah.
And everyone can probably find like patterns of, okay, when I'm doing this, I get those messages. I get chills. I get like, I know like my boyfriend loves going on walks and talking to God out loud. Like everyone's different. That's not my thing. Like he doesn't sit and meditate. I do. So sometimes we think that everyone has the same universal experience. Yeah, that's true. Right? So maybe for someone it's painting. Like I have no idea. But maybe there's not space right now. Maybe you're not leaving space for God to come in.
It's all good reminders. Yep.
You know, they say that God is closest to a broken heart. Why? Because when you're literally broken, there's room. Like when you're crying on your knees, begging, and you have nothing scheduled that day and you have no idea what's to come and you're shattered, there's room like for the light to come in. But when your schedule's packed full and you're consuming and reading and personal growth podcast and spiritual book and there's no space, it's like, okay, if you're like suffocating everything, where's there room? So I think journaling, time with no phone, walks with no phone, whatever it is, those might be.
Yeah. I think it's so funny how you can literally do this a good majority of your life and you can still forget. When you're in it, you literally, it's almost like you just get some sort of amnesia and you're like, no, I'm doing all the things. I think there's a little part of us that enjoys like the little victim mode or being able to blame something or like, well, I'm not getting this or I'm not feeling that or I don't feel this way anymore. I think there's a little indulgent part of us that's very human that is like, well, maybe I don't need to do that or maybe that's not working. And then you're like, no, it works. You just need to get back to it. But this is why I podcast is for reminders like this.
It's like the sun's shining outside today. Like we can go into your basement. I don't know if you have a basement. We can go into your basement and it'll be pitch black.
Yeah.
That's not the sun's fault that we're not experiencing the sun's warmth anymore. Like we're in the basement. You got to go outside, you know? Like maybe you're just in the basement. I'm getting out though. But but I was choosing the basement. I was like, wait, okay, let's and you're like,
I'm
not seeing anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Something's wrong. I think that there's a mistake.
Totally.
Yeah, I think there's a glitch and like the sun is incorrect today. It's like, no,
my God,
the sun's
so
there.
good. Okay, so what do you think are the 3 biggest shifts that actually make manifestation work? Because let's talk about this. It's like, it's January.
Yeah.
Everybody is in a place where they really want to create something for this year. I feel like a lot of people are talking about that. It's just like,
spilled everywhere.
I love it.
Perfect.
I'll just leave it. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, every new year that energy comes in and you do look down the road and say, what do I want to create for this year? What do I want to manifest? How do we kind of chunk that down? And what do you think are the 3 shifts that make that work?
First, I don't think I'm going to use this as my one. Just whatever day this is of January, just let go of the it needed to be perfect starting January 1st thing. Yeah. I think that's just an excuse that we use to put it off until February 1st or next January 1st. So just it's all perfect.
Which is the craziest time to pick to try to do everything different.
No,
like you're tired after the holidays.
You're tired.
Like, you need a vacation from the holiday.
People are like mid-vacation. They're hungover. Like people, it's a whole thing. First, get clear on what you actually want. I think a lot of people, you could say, okay, you can have your dream life a year from now. What do you want? They literally couldn't tell you. They don't know. Or maybe they think they know, but it's because of what other people in their lives place value and emphasis on. So give yourself the space to think about it. Also with that, you don't need to create it. I said this the other night when I was teaching, like, do you remember playing the game MASH?
Yeah.
Okay, like it's not MASH. Like you don't need to pick out your favorite car. Like there's already an answer. There is already, like your highest timeline looks like there's an answer. So it's not about you deciding anything, kind of like what you were just talking about. It's giving yourself the space to get quiet enough to hear and to see. Whenever I've done that, I've gotten visions that in my mind's eye look as if I'm remembering. Like it looks to me the same way that it looks when I'm remembering something that I've already lived in this lifetime. Give yourself that space. Like I always say this, like your desires exist because the future version of you has them. They're custom, they're specific, they're yours. So just know that you will have them. That's the first thing. Get clear. Second, I would write that in present tense as if you already have it. My favorite exercise, I don't even think that she knows how much this resonated. Do you know Jen Gottlieb?
Yeah, she's one of my like best friends. I was just with her last week.
Okay. Like I haven't talked to her in years. This is actually crazy story. You should tell her this. So our parents dated in high school.
Oh my God. Okay.
My mom and her dad dated.
Okay.
And our grandparents like were best friends. Like to this day, my like, you know, yeah. And like, you know, they passed, it's a whole thing, but like I would go and I would literally visit Thelma and Jean like at their
in her towns.
Yeah, best. Like get their Christmas card every year my whole life. Most iconic Christmas card. I was sitting with Jen. I was just moving to New York. So this is 2021. I was so young. I was just getting into spirituality and I wanted a boyfriend so badly. And she told me this story of how she would go on these walks in New York, right? Living as if she had everything she wanted and the vision board and the whole thing. And she gave me this exercise that I've done basically every day for the last 5 years. And I think she has no idea. And I've taught it for the last 5 years. Basically, you take your paper You can split it down the middle or either way. You begin by writing everything you're grateful for in this present moment. It could be everything, right? That I'm sitting here recording this podcast with you, that I had a great drive in the convertible to come here, like whatever. I can be grateful that you're healthy. Then it will look the same. You write everything you want to manifest also in the present tense as if you have it. And it's a very easy exercise. Then you can just jot it down, bullet points if you want. I'm grateful for making a certain amount of money. I'm grateful for having healthy kids. Everything that you want that you don't have in this moment, you write it. It's such a simple exercise, but you can do it in under a minute and it really works. There's more layers to why that works, right? Gratitude is the energy of having something.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of lack. It's the opposite of needy energy. And like attracts like. So if you have the energy of gratitude of having, you will naturally attract more things to have. Edit your diet of everything you consume. And I don't mean food. Our brains create filtering systems, like I talked about before, based on what we tell it is important. That's the words we say out loud, the words we say in our own mind, and what other people share with us. The content you consume on social media, your friends. What do your friends talk about? Do they talk about concepts and exciting ideas, or are they gossiping and talking shit all day about other people? What are you putting in your body? How are you treating your body? But especially what we consume, we're so over inundated with input right now. Make sure that it's inspiring you and expanding you. I think that we often underestimate the importance of our environments, right? That's why they say you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. The more that I am around people that expand me, that inspire me, that push the limits of what I believe is possible, if anything is, even impossible. At that point, I'm with people who just think anything's possible. It's amazing, right? These are hacks. Everything that I'm sharing is a hack that will allow you to manifest much more efficiently. That allows you to do it on autopilot. Then they're doing the work for you. Then you just become a more positive, optimistic, higher energy, high vibe person without actually having to do any work. It's it's the best.
It's like osmosis. It's like why our parents didn't want us to hang out with bullies or the bad kids.
Yeah.
Is you become them. And if you hang out with amazing people, you literally become them. I came from a fitness background, and early on I learned really quickly, you can't just change your mind. You have to change your environment, because your environment will inform everything that you do. So your environment is stronger than your willpower. It will always break it. Because you can be great up until 7 p.m., but if your environment is full of candy and that's your problem, your environment's going to break you because you ran out of willpower.
Yeah.
So it's the same in business, personal development. It's so important. I love that to edit your, what did you say? Edit your
diet of everything you consume.
Of everything. It's so important. I know I need
beyond food.
I think my algo needs to change a little.
Yes.
I think I need to get in a different algorithm.
It reminds me of the visual. Real. I saw someone post it the other day. It's oranges and one's moldy, and then the one next to it, the others are beautiful, perfect oranges, but this one moldy one, then the ones surrounding it start to mold as well. You know?
Totally.
Sometimes our friends have hard seasons and we have to be there for them, but if someone is just negative, evil speech, gossiping, or if they secretly don't want the best for you, right? Or they only want you to do well as long as it's not exceeding their level of happiness or their level of income.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very poisonous.
Totally. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's touch on manifesting. One more thing about manifesting for people. Can you share a little bit about, we have this theory of believing everything is happening for you. And then I've had moments in my life where I'm like, oh shit, how did I attract that? But then I'm like, oh, that happened for me. But then I'm like, God, I don't want to attract that again. How can we look at that or get over that quicker? Because I do believe no matter what happens in the next year, you and I are both going to have things that happen that we don't love. That we're like, how did if I attract everything and do everything, how did I attract that? How can we kind of flip that? And simultaneously also remain very grateful for what we are attracting.
For example, if someone's listening to this and they're in a horribly toxic relationship, they're like, no, this is not what I asked for. Incorrect. Your soul did ask for it. It's not because you deserve it or you're a bad person. This is how you are going to learn a lesson that will allow you to experience the life of your dreams. So rather than saying, why is this happening to me? Telling yourself it's happening for you, it's not always helpful. I was just talking to a woman on the way here. Her husband's in prison. They have children. It's a very challenging time.
Yeah.
And she's really viewing it beautifully. And we were talking about it. I'm like, well, there's a Hebrew phrase. Ein Ol Milvado, basically like translates to there's only you and God, right? So almost imagine if everyone in your life is a pawn. Like if they have no free will and they're existing because God, the universe, is telling them, do this specifically so that Hannah can learn what she needs to learn, to grow, to evolve, to elevate, to become the version of her that she is meant to be, to experience all the goodness in this world, to help change the world for the better. Like if you can actually view everyone, your dad who left you, your boyfriend who cheated on you, like they had no free will, then you can start to see the lessons, the blessings, the opportunities for growth that they are creating for you. And that allowed me to finally have compassion for my dad, who I've never lived with in my life. So that's the thing, right? View everything, even if you're in it, is okay. If this is going to be painful, like what's the juice I can squeeze out of it? Like what is the lesson for me here? And if you don't want to do it again, you don't have to. Just pass the test this time, right? If this is a test and you don't pass it, you're going to be met with the same guy in different fonts, the same challenging business partner in different fonts. And it will probably honestly be worse next time. We're usually given the same test with increasing severity until we pass it.
Yeah.
So pass it and then you can be done. It's simple.
Yeah. I've had a couple of personalities in my life where I'm like, now I can spot them from miles and miles away. And I'm like, whew, so glad I had those horrible experiences with those people. Where business has a lot more at risk, I can spot people who I'm like, oh, no, we're good to go. Like I know what to look out for. So that's also something I've become grateful for, is all of the lessons that happened more early on that were more intense, so that I can now, when things feel like, more at risk or you have more on the line, it was just so much easier to learn some of those when you didn't have that. So if you're in a spot right now, it's good to reflect and be like, okay, before the massive blessing comes, this is good that you got that experience maybe in your business. Maybe somebody stole money from you and you're like, I should have seen that coming. Like I should have checked these things out. Those are all things that are like, well, next time I will check that out. Next time I will learn from that. Next time I will have more control over that.
Yeah. Like there's no time lost. Like if you lose $1 million, like, okay, well, as your business grew, maybe it would have been $10 million because you wouldn't have learned this a different way.
Totally.
Like you can't just become, a brain surgeon at age 5. There's a certain level of education. There's a curriculum that one needs to go through, a certain number of hours of experience to be given that responsibility. So that's why of course, some people just marry their high school sweethearts and it works. But for a lot of people in relationships, like that's your curriculum. That's your opportunity to learn what you need to learn, to take on the responsibility of what you want to hold. Same goes for business.
Let's finish up with a money conversation, because a lot of people are always they get very excited about manifesting around, love and money.
Yep.
Love and money.
That's it.
The two main things. So how do we apply some of these things to money? How are some people blocking themselves, in your opinion, from certain amounts of money? Is there every time we hear people say manifesting money, they're like, well, you can't just go from 0 to $1 million if you're at 0. Do you believe that? Do you not? That was a lot of questions. Let's just start with, how do you apply this to wanting to manifest a certain amount of money?
Money's just energy. It's just energy. I think Elon Musk's net worth is over $500 billion now. Anything is possible. Any amount of money is possible. I've heard the craziest stories of people, making money, losing money, it coming back, bankruptcy, then billions. Like whatever you believe is possible is what will manifest. If you think it's hard to make $100,000, it will be hard to make $100,000. If you think you can make money like that and like it's like turning on a faucet, it will be. I've always held that belief. I've always had an abundance mindset surrounding money. I've always spent. But I know it's not like that for a lot of people. We've talked about the areas of my life that I've struggled in. So I would tell yourself those mantras every single day. Money and abundance flow to me with ease. Whatever it is, like whatever the opposite of your limiting belief is, say that to yourself every day. Act as if you actually hold that belief. Also, just like practically, if you have a scarcity mindset surrounding money and you have this needy energy in your business, you will repel opportunities. The more that my business has grown, the more huge brands, celebrities, whatever that I work with, the less time I have to take on clients. At this point, I don't do any pitching. I don't even market my business. I turn people away. Now more than ever, people are like banging on the door wanting to work with me, right? When I was just starting out, like begging anyone to work for me for like, basically free, it was impossible. So treat yourself like you are where you want to be, energetically, with your time, and that is what other people will believe. The more confidence you have in yourself, in your abilities, in the value of your time, you will inspire others to have that same confidence in you. So it truly starts with you.
I love that. Okay, if you could leave women with one thing to stop forgetting, one truth to stop forgetting, what would that be?
It might be cliche, but they have no idea how good it can be, how good it is now. Never forget that. And never forget that no matter how dark it might feel now, no matter how far away your dreams might feel, that everything can shift pretty immediately as soon as you elevate your energy. As soon as you make that shift internally, everything can 180 flip. It's happened to me. It's happened to other people. I've watched it. I know it to be true. Nothing is too far-fetched. Nothing.
Is there anything else that you want to leave people with?
No, I just love you. This was so fun.
So fun.
I love like deep, soulful conversations. I can't deal with the bullshit anymore. I can't.
No, you have a podcast where it's all you have to do.
Oh my God.
I mean, hopefully.
How about you?
What's exciting?
Yeah. Anything that you want. I mean, they're your listeners. Anything you want to leave them with?
What do I want to leave them with? That. Like there's been, I think now that it's so crazy when you start getting like, now I'm in my mid 40s and I'm like, whoa, life has cycles. And it's just such a reminder. Make sure that you have a network that is built around you who just always reminds you of this conversation. Like it's one of the most important things because life, no matter how much you think you're dialed in, it will life you because you're going to a new level. And you will get lifed and it will toss you and ragdoll you in the ocean. And then your friends will be like, hey, you're good. Like, come back to this or come back to that. Like you just forgot. So I think setting up yourself in an environment that always has you, like, then you can't fail. Like you can't fail. So.
You know what that reminded me of? I'll end with this. There's levels. When you go to a new level, then you're a little fish in a big pond again, which can feel really destabilizing after being a big fish in a small pond. You go from being the varsity player, or no, I'm not a sports girl. You go from being the star player on a JV team to like the worst player on a varsity team. I remember I got like a nice car. Okay, it's like a little sports car, and the first time I got in it, I was driving to go see Amanda. It was raining. It was dark. I got in it. I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. Like, I'm going to crash. I don't understand. It's bumpy. I like scraped it. I'm like, oh no. I texted my friend. I'm like, I'm giving it back. Like, I can't handle this car. And then anyway, now I love the car. It's so fun. It's convertible. It goes fast. And it felt so symbolic in the moment. It was so uncomfortable because I was used to, like a soft, cushy SUV. But I'm like, this is what I always wanted. Yeah. Now I love the car. The new level can be really uncomfortable. It doesn't mean that you've gone backwards. It can feel like it. Yeah. It means that you're at the start of something really, really special. And 2026 in numerology, it's 1. Do you know about this?
Yep.
You know about this, right?
I feel all the cycles ending.
2025 was the 9 year. Yep. It was the end of a really long chapter, a lot of loss, a lot of transitions. The year of the snake, there was a lot of shedding, a lot of grief. People lost their homes in the fires, relationships. Going into this year 1, it's the beginning of that new level, that next chapter for a lot of people. It's the year of the horse, which means power. We're moving forward intentionally. So don't return the car.
We're ready to ride.
We're ready to ride.
We ride at dawn.
Buckle up. Thank
I
you.
love it.
This
Thank
is so
you
fun.
so much for coming on. I love it. I can't wait to listen to your podcast.
Thank you. You have to come on.
I would love to come
Mandatory.
on. Yeah, I'm coming on. I'll be
Good.
right up there.
Good.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yay.